New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ebro in the morning. One of my all-time favorite comedians. He's back at Caroline's all weekend long, Memorial Day. That's how you know. That's when you know someone's good. When they give you Memorial Day. Either that or they're really desperate. I can't tell. Talent is here. What's good?
Booyah! In the building, man.
How are you, man?
You're right, though. You're right. They gave me Memorial Day. I'm good.
You got to be good.
Yeah. It took years. I was asking for a holiday. They was like, you're not good enough for a holiday.
Yeah. Well, how about a Thursday? Just one Thursday.
How about Sunday afternoon?
How long have you been in comedy now?
18 and a half now.
18 and a half years.
I mean, excuse me, not even 18, 28 and a half.
I was about
I'm
to
going
say.
on 30.
I was going to say, I actually thought 18 sounded low.
It sounded low. I was like, yo, why am I saying 18? You know what I mean?
Because you don't believe that you're as old as you are.
Because every day's 420. That's the problem.
Are you high all the time?
Nah. Just every day.
Okay, well, got it.
Not all the time.
But not all the time.
Because we got to sleep.
That's right.
Facts.
But do you? What's your preferred weed method?
Well, I just hang around dudes, and then I get the contact and ask them what's the flavor. You know what I mean? Like, so
you don't have a preferred, you're not like a sativa guy or an indica guy.
Nah. Like all the new flavors, I'm still not up on them. You know, I'm bouncing around and, you know, just hanging around groups. Like hip hop, when you hang around hip hop, you're going to get contact. You know what I mean? R&B, not so much. It's still reefer. Right. You know, R&B got reefer. I'm still, I'm with the new stuff now. So that's how you learn
You're
your
still
flavors.
Smoking reefers when you do the
R&B.
You
them guys.
What are your thoughts on the state of the world today? First of all, did you watch Game of Thrones finale?
Man, listen, let me tell you something. I didn't catch the finale because I worked last night.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Watched the show?
Oh, yes. As soon as I leave here, bang, I'm watching.
Wait, you really do watch the show?
Every season, I'm up to date. I'm all the way up until the finale.
And yet you do not know what happened yet.
I don't know what happened.
So you're walking around blind right now in the street.
Listen, I was
You're staying
reading
on
the
social
blogs,
media,
and
right?
every time it says spoiler alert, I go to another story.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening in England? What about the baby?
Right. What about the baby?
Archie.
Does Archie get a lot of coverage in the talent world? You big on Archie these days?
Whenever it's a spoiler alert, I take
Go the other way.
Whatever story I can get.
Do you spend a lot of time with Trump, or are you kind of off it? It's been a couple years now.
Trump's so bad, he finds his way into anything.
Right.
Like, you could be doing a sex joke, somehow you're going to get to Trump.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's so bad, you find your way to it. I try not to drill on it because I feel like we're all kind of like trumped out too at the same time. So it's one of those things, like every big piece of news, it's like when Mike Tyson bit the ear off. It was like, after a while, it was like, all right, don't talk about the ear. Then it was Michael Jackson. All right, let it go. Now it's, Trump's that guy that we're so trumped out. You find your way talking about it, but try not to dwell.
Right. Wait, because you can, do you actually see fatigue from audiences if you do too much Trump?
Yeah. And you see the audience split. Like we were in the comedy club last night and somebody went Trump and he was just like, is this a conservative crowd? Are you guys Republican? Like he couldn't understand why the laughter stopped. But he went Trump and the room just split. And sometimes the laughter stopped for two different reasons, but doesn't matter in comedy. If it stops, it stops.
That's a good point.
So you see people really just tense up?
Yeah, because it's like in public, people still don't really want to do their politic thing.
Yeah.
Only in the minority communities do we not give a damn.
Right.
Like blacks and Hispanics don't give a damn about talking politics because they don't take it the same way. Like,
well, because things have been shitty either way, no matter who's
Caucasians, they lose friends and neighbors every day over politics. What? You're a Democrat, and they move. You see the for sale sign go up in the front lawn. What happened? Somebody said, no,
we found out the Bob was a Democrat and we just left.
Right.
We couldn't have this anymore.
Yeah, so we don't care. Like, they throw it out there.
Do you think that is really, though, just because generally for black and brown people, things have been, consistently bad enough that regardless of who's in office,
yeah, I think the average brown person feels like a lot of it doesn't pertain to them,
right,
until it pertains to them. Like, for example, like the whole abortion thing is the big thing now. You know what I mean? And like they've been doing this for years, and nobody's been paying attention to it until, you know what I mean? So they've been fighting abortion. It hasn't stopped. But then as soon as you make a headline, like something like Georgia, state of Georgia, a lot of black people. Mm-hmm. Right. Now they're like, hold up, yo.
Hold on.
You got dudes like, hold up. They messing with my rights. You ain't getting no abortion. But you know what I'm saying? Like, right. That's how we are. Like, until it affects us. So I think we like late to the movie. We late to politics. So now it's like a casual thing to us. Think about it. You go back 10, 15 years before Barack, black people wasn't rushing to no polls. So they was like, yeah, he won? Oh, that's crazy.
Well, that's
we didn't
what
even know the
a lot
difference
of
in the
young
councilman.
people too. They felt like everything's all good. We have a progressive black president. We're all right. They didn't even realize. Like, I don't think. I mean, look, I guess the highlight of all this is that more young people are educated and they're more interested in government altogether.
Give props to the weed. Once again, back to the weed. See, it finds its way in there.
Right, because now weed is so legal that
Not only that, weed gives the facade of consciousness. Right. So you tell me, you show me somebody smoking, don't think they smarter.
or really feel.
Think about that. Like people smoke, they feel like they're smarter. Like, yo, B, you ever look at a dollar bill? I'm like, nah, what's up? Check it out. Like, you ever talk to me? Like, yo, they just throw words out there. Illuminati, yo. Like, what about it? You'll see.
You'll see.
They never give you that.
By the way, you want to talk to us? You want to talk to us about this? The outfit you chose for the Memorial Day flyer?
Well, I'm going with the flag, man. Those.
Very.
Understand
Quite
something.
the patriot.
Those are the only people.
I've always thought of Talon as a great patriot.
Right.
Yeah, always. We're the only ones not getting personal. If you wear stuff like that, people leave you alone. It's New York City. You're on Broadway. You're at Caroline's. When they see the flag jacket, right, with the flag tie, the flag shirt.
And flag socks.
Like, damn it, Patriot games. That dude is doing it.
What else been going on in your life these days, Talon?
Well, we got we've been touring with this New York Kings of Comedy tour. We're in the third year. So come November, we shoot the special, at the Apollo for Netflix. So it's me, Capone, Rob Stapleton, Mark Vieira. We make up the New York Kings, and we've been on tour, man. This is the third year. So
Wow, it's 3 years already, huh?
3 years already, man. We came back. We originated that group, not the same core group, but in 2000. We came out in 2000. We did a few things. We toured for maybe 6-7 months.
And who was in the original iteration?
Gerald Kelly. Remember Gerald Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
It was Capone, Rob. The only one that changed out was Gerald Kelly and Drew Frazier. It was 5 at that time. Now it's 4. It was 5 Kings. And then you know how it is. You come back 14 years or whatever years later, and everybody's grown men now with kids and houses and cars and tax brackets, and now they're looking at it like a business. So when we came back and revamped it as a business, that's when you start trimming the fat, so to speek. You know what I mean? You say, you know what, Drew got to go.
Wow,
Gerald Kelly got to go.
Punted Drew out.
Well, first Gerald went. Gerald he got into an argument. What happened was
Found out Gerald was Republican.
we put the house for sale.
Put the house for sale
right
away.
Well, you know what happens? They changed it to a democracy, and it came back. I always say this, like, careful what you wish for. I own the thing, so it used to be what I say go. And they said, if we're going to do it again, we don't want that. We want to vote on everything. And I said, all right, cool. I'll let y'all vote. Let's, again, Democrats, right? So we voting, and both of those guys eventually getting voted out. Now, if they didn't change that, I like the guys. I would have kept them. I would have kept them. But they got voted out.
So this is always the actual brand has always been yours.
Yes.
And I think that's fair. I mean, you're the OG of the group.
Right. I mean, Rob got a little time on me in the game, but
Rob has time on you in the game?
Rob probably got a year and a half, 2 years on me.
Wow.
Yeah, Rob probably got that on me. But we kicked down some doors. I probably kicked down the most doors. So when you fast forward the game, the 9 movies, all the TV shows, and like I said, 15 years radio, and still going. I still bounce around, do my radio thing. So, these guys touring, and then capped it a little something with Dame Dash. But other than that, that puts me at the OG status to own it. But they wanted the democracy, and here we go. Now we got 4 Kings instead of 5.
Do you guys switch off who headlines, or do you always headline?
No, I host it because I got to be the clock management.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We let Capone.
Do you like that? Do you like the role of hosting as opposed to having to have like one set? You kind of just get to keep jumping and break, or is it hard to get a rhythm?
Well, I think hosting is best for, other than the time thing, I think it's best for me and the overall show because I'm probably my comedy is so natural and so in the moment of what's happening. Like, I don't come out and go joke 1 through 4. You know what I mean?
So it suits your style.
Yeah. So I think it suits the style, and we watch that clock. So a lot of places we play, that clock is very important. That clock is the difference between $10,000 getting it and not getting it. You know what I mean? So I make sure that clock management is right, and it's 25 minutes left for Capone to come bring it home.
And if you have to come out one time and you only get 40 seconds because things went long, then you're like, whatever.
It's happened.
Yeah, we're getting to the next thing.
It's happened, but then there's times where I got to come out and they're like, stretch.
Right.
I was working last night and the first comic wasn't even in the building. Stretch. They were doing this on the side with their arms, like, keep stretching. And I'm like, okay.
Do you ever, at this point, nearly 30 years in the game, does something like that ever stress you out or no?
Mm-mm.
Do you never feel stress on stage?
No. The only thing you feel is the nervous energy at the beginning. You know,
and you still feel that?
You're supposed to, yeah. Richard Pryor said himself, he said, I should have known, you know, my downfall when I start going down is when I stop being nervous. He said, always be nervous because the night that you're not nervous, now it's time to really be nervous.
Right.
Because you're on the other side of that game. Either you're too confident, you know what I mean, or in his case, the drugs. He was like, I was getting so high.
Didn't feel it anymore.
He was like, I didn't even pay attention. I'm not even nervous. You're supposed to, comedy's that type of thing. Then you go up there, your stomach's knotted and everything, and that first laugh go boom, and you sit in the saddle.
Do you respect what's going on with these social media comedians?
Half of them.
The ones who are trying to put in the work?
Yeah, well, you got some that are really fans of stand-up, and they're really trying. Either they started in stand-up and then just found a niche and got bigger.
Right.
Or they started in Instagram or, you know, one of the Twitter or something or Facebook, build a following, but didn't hit a stage without doing the homework and trying to learn to be a good stand-up. Because if you just pack the house and jump up there and you ain't never, there's no edit button.
Right.
And
I think some of them have admitted that. They weren't really quite.
Yeah, there's some of them who tried,
it's not the
failed,
same,
and then
you
went
know?
back to the drawing board and tried to get it right.
But the worst thing to do is, like, you do it live, there's always going to be a real comedian somewhere in the vicinity, and they're going to crush you.
If they come on after you too, and you just came up and tried to do Instagram
or if they just
jokes?
see you. Like, you know, ain't nothing worse than an old comedian getting on social media trashing the young comedian. He was there.
And barely even know how to type it. Has to have someone do it for them.
It's like, who is he talking about? Nah, but some of them are good. Like, I respect like Country Wayne. You know what I mean? Even your girl Jess Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I've done shows with her, and I've watched her work on her critique, you know, her technique, and critiqued her and stuff like that. And coming out of Be More, like, there's a lot of social media cats coming where she came from that hate on her.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
because she really made it. She really did the work.
I'm not that dude. You funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? I respect funny. I love funny. That's all I ask. You're going to get on the stage, respect the stage.
How do you see, you've done radio. It's so funny because I talk to comedians and I don't particularly identify in most ways with comedians because the medium's so different. Even though I have 2 radio shows a day in which my job is basically to be the comic relief on kind of both shows.
Got you.
But it's such a different, it's totally different than the craft that you use doing stand-up, right?
It is.
Do you use a different part of your brain when you're doing the radio gig versus the stand-up part?
Yeah. Stand-up is 50-50 listening, talking, right? When you're doing stand-up, because you have to talk, but you have to listen to the crowd to see what's working, what's not working. The crowd will let you know avenues they don't want to go down or what they're uncomfortable with. So in a room, because you don't have that instant gratification already, you're going through a microphone, somewhere else is listening to you. So you don't have them in front of you, right? So now you go from 50-50 to 75-80% listening, but not to the audience, to the room.
Right.
So I would sit here, and you guys are pinging around the room with all these topics and everything. And as you're going, I'm just thinking the funny on each topic. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing radio somewhere, and the abortion thing came up, and the whole room was like, well, we're not going to find any funny in this. You know, this is abortion. You know, the women, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, I want to know if they change the law, do I get all my money back? And the room just busted out laughing. The lady called it, was like, you know, I can see us laughing at abortion, but that's some funny smack. Like, what
and on the wrong day, and on the wrong day.
I'm like, yo, it's just...
And for the wrong person, that could totally go left, and you don't know.
I tell the dude all the time, man, dude, if you want your money back, first of all, if you cash apped for that abortion, you still born and raw.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Talent, and you can see him this weekend, all weekend long. Caroline's on Broadway, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. The door is always open for you, Talent. Talent, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, bro.